The Beyond Kayfabe podcast is brought to you in part by Johnny's Cock Rocks, located at 123 Fake Street, Pico Rivera, California, off the corner of Limon and Lime. He'll draw a cock on your rock for a few bucks extra. He'll draw a rock on your cock. At Johnny's Cock Rocks, his prices are hard to beat.
We in the WWF think that you, the audience, are quite frankly tired of having your intelligence insulted.
Beyond Kayfabe.
You're listening to Beyond Kayfabe, motherfuckers!
Hey everybody, welcome to the premiere episode of Beyond Kayfabe, the wrestling podcast that takes you between the ropes, behind the curtains, and everywhere and beyond that wrestling's happening. I'm Chris.
This is David.
This is Bubs.
And we're the hosts. Gentlemen, the great Mean Gene Okerlund used to say, we have arrived.
We have.
Yes, we have.
Yes, we have arrived, and that place is Bubba's bedroom.
Yes, Studio 1500, folks.
Yep.
Is it Studio 1500?
Studio 1500. 1500V. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
Yeah.
Classy.
I like it.
Absolutely. So everyone's doing good?
Yeah, man. We're doing pretty good, man.
Yeah, I'd say I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah. Got some pizza in our system, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How could you not feel good without pizza?
Yeah, we won't mention which pizza company because we don't do that because we're not endorsed by them.
But we should be.
We should be.
Yeah, definitely.
A bunch of guys as healthy as we are?
Yeah.
Fucking A, man.
Yeah. We're not big boned. We're just huskies.
Yep.
Dinosaurs are fucking big boned.
That's right. I'm just fucking big ass, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I have an eating problem.
Yeah.
Well, I have a white boy ass, so I'm not big assed.
That's
So,
You got a white boy ass?
Yeah, we rock the front butts in this family. So
The front butts. That's classy here on the first episode. Giving you a little taste of what to expect.
oh yeah,
But since this is the first show, I think we should probably just talk a little bit about our format. It is a wrestling podcast, so we're going to be talking about pro wrestling. And if that's not your bag, hey, that's all right. But just, don't listen. That's
actually, listen. Because we want people to listen.
yeah. But if they don't care about wrestling,
Well, we have a little bit for everybody, I think.
okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
We talk about wrestling, and then occasionally we'll trail off into some tangent about something
Yeah.
because that's how we are.
Yep.
But on the wrestling podcast here, like I said, we're going to be talking about pretty much anything going on in wrestling, current events, storylines. Occasionally we'll do like the weekend review where we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So of course we're talking about WWE and TNA.
which there is a lot of ugly in TNA
Oh my God,
Way too much.
and WWE. Let's be honest here, guys.
We're going to talk about WWE.
Yeah,
Well, then
Are
I
they
guess
still around?
we need to stop. We just need to stop this right now. I mean, if we're going to talk about WWE, there's no point to this.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about wrestling and we'll talk about wrestling.
Oh,
How about that?
we gonna go down to Deep South and we gonna watch ourselves some wrestling.
That's
y'all.
right. Are the Freebirds still
I
around?
think so, man.
Because
When
the Von Erichs are not.
oh man, to quote that Stone Cold Steve Austin, man, we're gonna do nothing but watch the Von Erichs fight the Freebirds.
That's right, man. Good old Georgia. No, that was
WCCW.
That's right. There you go.
WCCW.
World Class Championship Wrestling.
Yes, sir.
Technically I caught myself, so that shouldn't count.
It doesn't count. You're good. I'll let you slide this one time.
All right. So, anyways, like there's an example of one of our tangents there, but yeah. So we'll talk about what's going on. Now we're not going to give you like the match by match report because hey, come on, if you're a wrestling fan, you're watching anyway. So, and we will have to wrap up the show. We'll have the discussion of the night or the main event. Tonight's discussion is going to be the current WWE storyline, title versus title, John Cena versus Randy Orton.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that in a little bit. But, gentlemen, I thought it'd be great to start off our show with pretty much a little history on how we got into wrestling, whether there was a match or an event or something. How did you become a fan of wrestling? And, Bub, I'm going to start with you.
Well, I started off as a fan of wrestling when I was very young. Me and Deebow's grandfather was a huge wrestling fan. He loved Classy Freddie Blassie. I don't remember exactly what the first match was that I watched, but I do remember watching wrestling with our dad before he passed away. But the first thing that pops to mind to me is Survivor Series 91 with the Gobbledygooker.
Oh, yeah, that was a classic one.
Yeah, I just remember the hype and the build-up behind it. You watch Superstars, you watch Challenge, you watch pretty much any WWF show, and they just had this huge, giant fucking egg on the side of the stage.
Yeah.
And they'd have Mean Gene out there talking in front of it, hyping it up like it's just some big deal. But besides that, the one thing that always stood out the most was the debut of The Undertaker.
Yeah, Survivor Series 1990.
91, coming out as Ted DiBiase's mystery partner. And I remember seeing this guy, just tall, menacing, evil-looking dude, pale as fuck with ginger red hair, wearing a huge trench coat, hat, and plastic gloves.
He had the traditional, like, the old Western Undertaker look.
He did. And Vince McMahon actually really wanted to do a character like that for a long time. I can't remember what DVD or whatever that was on, but he thought it would be perfect for Mark Calloway. But going back to me, I remember watching it and just being terrified. I was scared shitless of this guy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because us at the time, like I was probably, I don't know, 7 years old when he came out, and I wasn't very familiar with like horror movies or anything like that. And I would see this guy, I was like, oh my God, he's actually a dead guy. He's dead. No one's going to be able to beat him. He's just scary. And I just remember him coming out and just dominating everybody that Survivor Series.
He was the one wrestler that you saw that you literally thought was untouchable. Like, this guy, like, this is the real deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this guy is like, I mean, he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He has the power of the dark side, and I mean, and that Survivor Series, I mean, he didn't have any tattoos.
No.
And then over the years, you would see him build this repertoire of like the Grim Reaper and all this shit. And like, have you seen like a picture of his tattoos? I mean, it is some of the fucking darkest. This guy, Mark Calloway, man, God bless him. He's committed to this character.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he has some of the best artwork, period, but some of his like just death and like I said, you got the Reaper and the Devil and everything and oh my God. But even before that was pretty sinister looking.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And I have no problem telling you guys, because I remember that one, 1990 Survivor Series. When I saw this guy, I was just like, I was trembling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I wasn't in the arena. I wasn't like next to him. I was just like, oh my God, like, I really think that we're in trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I really think, because this guy, and it was only a matter of time. And I was thinking too, like Hogan, like, hey man, you're in trouble. This guy is the real deal.
Right. And, we were all Hulkamaniacs. Let's be honest here.
Yeah. No,
at one point in our life, we were all Hulkamaniacs. And that was the most scary thing. It's like, oh my God, he's going to beat Hogan. This is the guy that's going to take down the immortal Hulk Hogan. And then, of course, following Survivor Series 91, sorry. It happened.
A year later,
it happened.
The gravest challenge,
man. And it happened. And I'll never forget Bobby Heenan screaming, Hulkamania is dead. It's dead. And I really thought it was.
Well, don't forget about that promo, which I got to tell you is one of my top 10 promos. I mean, it was short. It was sweet. It was scary. I mean, the music. Mm-hmm. Oh, actually, that was from the Undertaker DVD. They play this little eerie music as part of a segue. But even just as is, I mean, he said it himself. There are no immortals on the dark side. There is no escape from the dark side. Survivor Series, you're going to find out that Hulkamania is dead. Yeah. And he just kind of tilts his head, and it's just, oh, man.
Yeah. And then...
Goosebumps.
Yeah. I'm feeling them right now, dude. Yeah. Just flashing back to that. And then I remember, like, I'm completely embarrassed to say this, but during the period where the Taker had the title, they were doing their house shows and their live events, and my uncle actually got tickets to go see Hulk Hogan and The Undertaker. And for a couple of days, I was excited to go, and then the day hit, and we were going to go, and I pussed out because I was terrified of The Undertaker. I thought he was going to come into the crowd and just kill everybody.
He was going to grab you and all the other Hulkamaniacs and just bury you.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to bury us alive.
You don't have to be ashamed with that, dude, because like I said, man, I was a kid, like 5, 6, somewhere around that age frame, and I was fucking terrified of this dude.
Right.
Even in the daytime, like watching him during the day is intense. Like, if his promo came on at night, I just like change the channel really quick. And Paul Bearer too, to his credit, was a sinister looking motherfucker. Yes, he was. You know what I mean? Just absolutely, man, in his voice. And I mean, looking back on it now, you kind of laugh because it's like, oh my God, I think he kind of really oversold it. But at that time, I mean, and then, well, even with Brother Love, who was his first manager, it was kind of a weird contrast.
Right.
It was more like crazy psychotic.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then it just became just like dark and psychotic.
Right.
Which worked out. And much credit to The Undertaker. I mean, that was a character, a gimmick that they probably thought wasn't going to last too long.
Mm-hmm.
And he stretched that into an amazing career.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's still fucking doing it to this day.
Absolutely.
I mean,
and he's still fucking powerful, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that was your moment that got you into wrestling was pretty much like the Survivor Series 1990.
Yeah, that was it, man. And then from there on out,
you were hooked.
I was hooked. I was like, I loved pro wrestling after that. I was like, I'm never going to stop watching this.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And Dave, I'm going to turn to you now. Was there a match? Was there an event? Was there, a childhood memory attached to wrestling that got you into it?
Well, like Bubba stated, we were pretty much raised into it, you could say.
Third generation wrestling fans.
Yes.
My earliest
Fuck you, Randy Orton.
I don't really have that many memories from when I was a really small child. I remember pictures of me and Bubba and our cousins with our wrestling buddies, which was awesome.
I remember the wrestling buddies.
Wrestling buddies were the shit.
Yes, one of the earliest memories I have was WrestleMania 8 because
the Hoosier Dome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was a big Hulkamaniac. I loved Sid Justice.
His retirement match, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Then, like a little bit after that, it would actually include The Undertaker with SummerSlam 94 with The Undertaker versus The Undertaker.
Yeah.
That's what got me back into wrestling because we didn't watch wrestling for
about a year.
About a year, like consistently.
Yeah.
After that, I mean, I've pretty much been watching wrestling nonstop for, what is it,
since 96, really.
Yeah. Well, since 94.
Wow.
94, yeah.
End of 94 for about what? So that's been, 19, 20 years?
Something,
Close?
yeah.
Close.
Pretty close to it.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's about it.
I mean, that was a great cartoon, man. I remember the Survivor Series 94. I remember
SummerSlam 94.
Oh, excuse me, SummerSlam, yeah. But Survivor Series 94 was okay too, by the way.
Right.
That was the one with Chuck Norris. So.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, that was fucking great.
Yeah.
But I remember this, also remember the SummerSlam 94. Actually, I think I caught the replay, though.
Okay.
Either it was on a Monday, either it was live on a Monday or it was a replay. And it had a pretty decent card. I mean, it was nothing that really just like, okay, this is like the fucking best. But it had the Owen Hart, Bret Hart steel cage match for the title, which was great. And then Taker versus Taker. Obviously Brian Lee was the fake Taker.
Mm-hmm.
And but the Leslie Nielsen promo gimmick that they did where he was,
classic.
The whole Naked Gun character trying to find the Undertaker was, I mean, the perfect mix of comedy and wrestling combined,
Oh, hell yeah.
But that was a fucking great card, man.
Yeah. Well, what about you, Chrispy? What was the moment that you became hooked on this wonderful world of professional wrestling that we watch?
For me, the moment, I'm going to kind of take a cue from you, it was in the early 90s, probably late 80s, early 90s. Just, when you're a kid, you got to go to bed early and, your parents go to sleep and you're still awake. So you wake up, watch a little TV. And this particular night, it was Saturday night's main event.
Right.
And I didn't know what was going on. I just saw guys hitting each other and I was like, hey, this is interesting.
Yeah.
And then like these characters, like your Jake the Snakes and like I said, Hulk Hogan. And I think they were kind of doing the promo, the build up for WrestleMania 6, which was the Ultimate Challenge.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, we were Hulkamaniacs. I mean, that's probably one of the first guys you see because he was popular in that time. He was everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of got behind Hulk Hogan. I mean, here's a guy, he had a pretty good message, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, all that shit.
Buy merchandise.
Buy merchandise. Yeah, there you go. That's a fucking genius line there, dude. But when the Warrior came.
Yes.
Here was a guy, it was like, he was so cool that you didn't have to like him.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? And I mean, he was nuts. I mean, and later we found out that Jim Hellwig is fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You have to be to change your name legally to Warrior.
Yeah.
But when I saw the Warrior and the intensity, I mean, this guy looked like he believed and lived off of every word.
And to cut you off, he actually does believe in
exactly
the same principles that he tried to teach us when he was the Warrior in WWF.
Absolutely. And it was crazy because, like I said, just to kind of, foreshadow our main topic, it was title versus title.
Mm-hmm.
Back then when they only had fucking 3 titles.
Yes.
You're basically your main world heavyweight, your secondary IC, and a tag title.
Right.
And it was like one of the first times where it was champion versus champion. And it kind of had that feel like, okay, these are the best in that division, if you will, if you want to break down Intercontinental and shit. And could the Warrior beat Hulkamania?
Right.
And as much of a fan as I was of Hulk Hogan, I had to go with the Warrior. I mean, there was something about this guy that just really just fucking spoke to me, and I went with. And I remember in the playground, the kids, it was divided. It was 50-50. People were like, Hogan's going to win. No, Warrior's going to win. But you get to the pay-per-view, you get to the Sky Dome in Toronto. Of course, I'm watching on pay-per-view. I'm not there. I'm not fucking 5 years old on a plane. Like, here, WrestleMania, here I come. But,
you weren't in the Warriors plane that he took over and took the 2 pilots that made the sacrifice?
I'll get to the promo in a second. I wasn't a young Edge in the crowd. I was watching on pay-per-view, but even at home through a television, and one of those, those old school fucking tube TVs.
Right,
and shit.
13-inch floor model type TVs.
Exactly. You can feel the buzz.
Yes.
You can feel the excitement.
Uh-huh.
You know, I mean, great card. Absolutely great card.
Oh,
I mean, the match from beginning to end, great fucking card for the period, of
right.
the 90s, which was, I think some of the greatest characters in WWE came out in that kind of 89, 90, 91 era.
Right.
So, but that main event, man, you didn't know what was going to happen.
No.
You did not know. I mean, you thought, oh, Hogan's going to win. No, Warrior's going to win. And then that fucking finish, and it was the passing of the torch.
It was.
Which was fucking cool. I mean, humble in defeat, gracious, or is it humble in victory, gracious in defeat? That was fucking Hogan right there. I mean, proving why, like what he said, he practiced what he preached.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was the era of the Warrior, and it was just nuts. Because he was a cartoon character.
Yeah.
That's why he worked.
Yeah.
Kids were all about cartoons. I used to watch wrestling after cartoons too.
Oh, yeah.
But from that point on, I was hooked, and I've been watching it, man. And I didn't get cable till like 94, so I didn't get to see Raw till like 94. But I knew it was there.
Right.
I'd try to go to a buddy's house and watch it. But pretty much Superstars, Wrestling Challenge, whatever, Saturday Night's Main Event, whatever they had on. I mean, video store.
Yep.
I used to go to the video store and rent everything, man. Just, sometimes twice, sometimes fucking 3 or 4,
Yeah.
Could not get enough of it. And to this day, I'm still a fan.
Yeah, me too.
So,
Yeah.
I don't really like it. I just, I'm just playing along.
You're just playing along.
I was just playing along.
We're just kind of guessing.
Yeah.
You're trying to use our charm to get your way there.
Exactly.
Just using us.
That's how he is, man.
Yeah.
We're pretty much his whores.
Because, I'd say something, man. I mean, I love pro wrestling, and when you see me, you're like, that's a guy that probably loves porn, pro wrestling, porn as well.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing. That guy looks like he watches a lot of porn and pro wrestling, and he probably found the one that's the best of both worlds. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there's just something about it. I mean, I know a lot of people say shit like, oh, it's not real and this and that, but, I don't give a fuck.
Wait. Wrestling's not real?
It's not, no.
Well, I guess I need to go. You just completely shattered my universe.
Oh man, Santa Claus. Does that ring a bell? Because if, oh God, I'm the one that have to tell you this.
Oh, please don't. Just let's just move on.
Yeah. Okay. We'll just.
It's still real to Bubba.
It's still real.
Still real to me. Damn it.
But there's wrestling. I think, and gentlemen, correct me if I'm wrong here or agree with me. It has something for everybody.
Oh yeah.
And I know a lot of things have that mentality, but seriously though, I mean, you have your, if you're a sports guy, you have your sports, your athleticism on that. You got the entertainment. It's funny. It's serious. I mean, it's just a ball of emotion.
Yeah.
It's, and I hate to say this, but I mean, really it's true, but it's kind of like the male soap opera.
Yeah. It's a soap opera with violence.
Hey, I would watch Days of Our Life if occasionally one character would hit the other one with a car.
If Bo would hit
or a steel
Marlena
chair.
with a chair.
Well, I shouldn't say the car because I think that does happen, but like a steel chair, they had a cage match, or I'm going to bury somebody alive for no title just because we hate each other.
That's actually the storyline that they're going with right now. In Days
I
of Our
don't
Lives.
watch it, so I'm just going to have to take your word for it.
Oh, I don't either. I just read it up on Wikipedia.
I don't know if that's
page
worse.
Will be about 40 years long.
I don't know if that's worse or what, but okay, I'll let you. Remember how earlier you said you were embarrassed about something?
Yeah.
I would play that card right here.
Yeah. I'm going to say I am not embarrassed to say that I watched Days of Our Lives.
Okay, I'll say it for you. I'm embarrassed for the both of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sadly, we kind of got pulled into that by our mom.
Yeah. Thanks, Mom.
So,
Bitch.
I just the three of you on the couch passing back the Kleenex box.
Yeah, pretty much.
How could you do that to him?
Yeah. That was such a shitty summer.
Oh man. Here at the Beyond Kayfabe podcast, we charge by the hour, guys. So you want to lay down on that couch there and just tell me who?
I'd rather bend over.
Oh, hey, whoa.
Oh. It's about
I
to
don't
be-
mean that like, whoa, like, hey, not here, mister. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. It's nice to have options.
We're gonna have some free time after this is over. So
Maybe.
Maybe.
yeah, seriously.
I don't know. I haven't drank enough, excuse me. Maybe I have because I'm slurring my speech there. What is
Hey,
this that I'm
officer.
drinking?
Crab juice.
Crab juice?
Yeah.
Ugh. It beats Mountain Dew, I guess.
Totally.
So, anyways, again.
Not a sponsor.
Yeah, not a sponsor. Our many tirades there. But, so, I mean, obviously we fucking love wrestling and we're doing this podcast here. It's something that we just talk for hours and hours and hours about, man. I mean, shit, me and Dave went to a wrestling show not too long ago, and on the way there, we talked about wrestling. During the fucking event, we talked about wrestling. On the way back, oh, you better believe we talked about wrestling.
Hell, 2 hours after we parked, we were hanging out outside my house talking about wrestling.
Yeah.
I even joined the conversation.
Yeah.
You know? So, it is what it is, man. I mean, we love it. If you don't, hey, that's cool, you know? Whatever it is you love the shit out of it, man.
Mhm.
Enjoy, you know? We like fucking pro wrestling. It's
Yeah.
great, man.
Don't be afraid to be passionate about your interests.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So that's why we're doing the show here. And, those are great stories about getting into wrestling. And I'm sure you, listener, probably have your own. Maybe you went to a live event, something, some organization came to your town or you saw it on TV. Whatever it is, man, hey, we're all one big happy family. And I stuttered there because I was like, what do I use? Dysfunctional, crazy.
Dysfunctional
We're a
would fit
cult.
this group. Yeah, we're a cult.
You know?
Yeah.
I think we're one step above juggalos.
Yeah. By the way, you're drinking the Kool-Aid right now.
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jim Jones.
You're welcome.
Ooh.
It's pretty strong. Huh?
Yeah.
It's grape. Kool-Aid, not a sponsor.
Yeah. Not a sponsor. But we're willing to take them on.
Please, if anybody from Kool-Aid is listening,
Yeah.
send us some freebies.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Seriously, it's like 10 for $1. You can't send us a fucking pack.
Yeah, we're broke, man.
Yeah, no shit, man.
Just send us the big container with the sugar already in it, because we don't want to have to buy two things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or give us the ones that aren't exactly up to your standards, where like the Kool-Aid guy's kind of like, it's all right.
Yeah.
You know, some of those weird fucked up flavors. Well,
Yeah.
just send it. Send us free shit.
Kiwi
because,
lime or
Yeah.
Oh,
something
God.
like that.
Ugh.
yeah. Well, if it's free, right? Hey,
Yeah, we'll take it.
you know.
Come on, Kool-Aid.
That's right, man. We're Americans. We deserve free shit.
It's America.
So, but anyways, now, I mentioned earlier, occasionally we're going to talk about the week in review, like what's going on in wrestling, if there's anything good, the good, the bad, and the ugly and shit. Nothing really this week that I want to talk about. Nothing really stood out. Nothing was like really, really bad or really, really good. It was just like, hey, nowadays wrestling storylines, everything just kind of blurs together, man.
Right.
Yeah. It was just a typical week.
Exactly. Nothing crazy. I mean, shit, I didn't even watch main event,
I didn't watch Raw.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the main event in like, I don't know, about 2 years.
No.
Is
Do you-
SmackDown still on?
Yeah, is it?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
I think it is. Yeah. Now, obviously, Monday has been wrestling night for a fucking long ass time.
For years.
And Thursday, of course, when SmackDown came out, used to be a big day. They moved it to Friday. Do you think that a lot of these shows, like talk about main events on Wednesday, SmackDown's on Friday? Do you think the day that it's on, it kind of hurts the show?
Oh, definitely.
Mhm.
Because Monday, it's like Monday night, like, what are you doing? Like, you going out partying? Fuck no. You're at home
No.
miserable because of work or whatever it is. So it's like the perfect time.
Well, and that's what's the reason why I don't watch SmackDown anymore. It's on Friday.
Yeah.
Who the hell stays home and watches TV on Friday? I mean,
Yeah,
besides
no
Bubba.
shit, right?
So,
And for me, like, because there was a time where we had wrestling on pretty much every single day. We had like Raw on Monday, NXT on Tuesday, and we had fucking TNA on Thursday,
Yeah.
SmackDown on Friday. And for me, it just becomes overkill.
yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, for me, it's overkill. Like I said, I love pro wrestling, but I don't want to watch it every single day of my life. That's just me. There's other shit I like to watch. I'm a big hockey fan.
I understand what you're saying, but for me, it's like I think I watch it every day, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I always like throw on a match or something. I mean, obviously, I watch Raw on Monday. I used to watch SmackDown all the time, but then, like I said, like currently, like the last couple of years, it's really been a test to the patience of the fans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like you're not really like there hasn't been anything really exciting in wrestling in like fucking years.
Yeah. Well,
You know what
it's bland.
Well, since
Exactly.
2011. So,
Yeah.
So, like I'll watch Raw on Mondays, of course. I mean, it's like the fucking staple
Yeah.
Yeah.
of the company. It's the flagship, I guess.
Yeah.
But like on Tuesdays, I'll probably just throw in like a fucking DVD or I watch something on YouTube, but not just wrestling matches though. I watch like shoot interviews. I watch,
Promos.
Whatever I can get, man. And I mean, I just love it, dude. I mean, not like for hours and hours a day, but I think I can watch it every day for the rest of my life and be fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But I get what you're saying though.
Well, like when I was a teenager in high school, it was the priority.
Yeah,
I wouldn't miss shit. If I missed Raw, I'd fucking throw a fit and I'd cry.
Well, that's the thing though. Like back when you were a teenager in high school, everybody
loved wrestling. Yeah.
You can't go around today and talk wrestling with anybody.
Well, and for me, another thing is like, especially now, I couldn't watch it every day. It's just because of the quality.
Yeah.
Like the storylines, like you said, they all just blur together, and there's really nothing original about any of these storylines, any of the characters, and it just seems like you're watching the same thing over and over and over, weeks and weeks at a time.
Yeah.
Exactly, dude. I mean, right now, I think the exception is the Wyatt family and the Shield.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, my wrestling watching is pretty much just come down to, when is Daniel Bryan on? When is CM Punk on?
Right.
Which is fine, because a lot of people like baseball, but they follow like, I follow Jeter, or I follow Rodriguez, or whatever. I don't know. I just name those two guys, but sometimes that's what you do in wrestling too. You follow a guy like Samoa Joe, or you follow, Dean Ambrose or whoever.
And that's why I watch NXT, because they got great talent on there. They got Sami Zayn and Alexander Rusev, I think his name is, and just a lot of good talent. That you can't watch on the main show.
Right.
Which is disappointing.
They have a lot of talent that we've watched in the indies the last 5 years.
Right.
And it's like from your opening slot guy to your main eventer, we've seen on the independent circuit.
These guys grow and develop their talent.
Right.
Sure.
And, we have an attachment with these guys and we like to follow them.
Yeah.
But it unfortunately, like NXT isn't as available as a Raw or a SmackDown or an Impact.
It's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu Plus, which we want, if they want, to pay us for a plug, we'll give it to them.
No shit, man, for sure.
Come on, Hulu Plus.
But, I mean, that is kind of cool in a sense that you watch it on your time.
Right.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you though, honestly, man, the last great match, and I mean like 5-star caliber match that I saw was an NXT match, which was Anthony Cesaro and, was it Zayn? Sami Zayn in the 2 out of 3 falls match.
Mm-hmm.
This match is so good that I showed a friend of mine who's sort of like a fan, not really, and he was fucking impressed.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's your standard right there. I mean, obviously pro wrestling fans are going to love the match no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
But a guy who's just like, well, you guys are having a party, watching pay-per-view, I'll come over and join you. Like it was my friend Bob. Remember the guy who came over?
Yeah.
Yeah. I showed him the match, or I told him about the match. He watched it. He called me back and said, "This fucking thing's amazing, dude. Is this how it always is?" And I go, "No. It's unfortunately it's not."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a fucking diamond in the rough.
Right.
And why he's not on the main card, I don't know. I'll never know, I guess.
Funny enough,
he's a Jew.
Funny enough, on a side note, Sami Zayn actually, when he fought Antonio Cesaro in that 2 out of 3 falls, the next week he had a fucking 4.5-star match with Jack Swagger, which was excellent, which I say everybody needs to go check out because those two work very well together.
Man, the real Americans having really good matches on NXT for sure. So, but that's the thing though, man. Some of the best wrestling isn't going to be on the main card.
No.
You know what I mean?
Usually
and
never
that's a
on
shame.
the main card.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because right now, is wrestling popular? Yes, but it's not at the level where it could be.
Right. Yeah. It's nowhere near the level it was in the late 80s or late 90s, even late 80s, late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
This sports entertainment shit. I mean, look, I'm going to throw it out there. I'm not a big fan of Shane Douglas. No. I'm not. Personally or as a wrestler. But his whole tirade about wrestling versus sports entertainment, I have to give it to him on that.
Yeah.
Because it's true, and these terms and the way they carry out, like, it's like you go to Disneyland, right? You're not, you're a guest, right? Okay, which I guess makes sense at the theme park. But they also do that like a Target. You're not a customer, you're a guest.
Right.
It's like I'm at a fucking store. I don't like this terminology.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like sports entertainment. It's where we're fucking wrestling.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everyone knows what it is. Why we gotta be fucking taboo? And why are you pushing people away?
Right.
You're alienating the fans. You're trying to bring in, it's like, you're a loser, a misfit. And you're trying to attract the jocks.
Right.
Why the fuck are you doing that? Shouldn't you want to attract the other misfits and everyone together?
Right.
Yeah.
But
Right.
that's the fucking problem with it.
You know, like you were saying, you know, using those types of terms like WWE Universe
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
you know, sports entertainment, or what they were trying to push a couple years back, entertainers.
Yeah.
Just calling them entertainers, like, come on,
They're
man.
fucking professional
They
wrestlers.
don't even
there's-
call them matches anymore. They're bouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what has a bout? Boxing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a bout.
And boxing isn't the shitter.
Yeah.
So,
Boxing sucks.
You know? So it's like
Sweet science, my ass.
it's like this alienation of the fans with the whole fucking shit. So, I mean, and this is going to lead us right into our discussion here. Like I said, title versus title. This is a great example of that bullshit. You're insulting the fans. You're repeating storylines. You're putting the same guys. Now listen, there are some guys that can wrestle each other over and over again that you have no problem.
Mhm.
Ricky Steamboat, Ric Flair, Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio. Fucking even
Kurt
Rey
Angle,
Mys-
Undertaker.
There you go. Rey Mysterio and Dean Malenko, which, by the way, I got to throw it out there, is one of my favorite rivalries of all time.
Yes.
That is fucking amazing. You can watch these guys work all the time, and guess what? Every fucking match is going to one-up each other.
Mm-hmm.
John Cena and Randy Orton have had some great matches. That's true. But they're not at a caliber where it's like, they're not Ricky Steamboat and Ric Flair.
Right. They're not memorable in any way.
They're not. Yeah. Hustle, loyalty, respect, and fucking, I don't know, the Apex Predator.
I'm gonna RKO you.
Yeah.
I'm Randy Orton. I'm Randy Orton.
Yeah, see, that's the kind of excitement I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So let's jump right into it, gentlemen. It's coming up here at the TLC pay-per-view, December 15th, I believe.
I believe so.
So if you're listening, just, watch out, because, you could be listening after the fact. But, and another thing, too, let's start with that. A title versus title match. In the archives of wrestling, that's one of the big ones.
Right.
Champion versus champion. Why the fuck would you have it at a mediocre pay-per-view like TLC?
Yeah.
Well, it's easy. Vince is trying to do something to get buy rates.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
for
I,
sure.
I will say this though, TLC, it is one of the lower pay-per-views. It's pretty much an in your house for today's people, whatever.
Yeah. You remember In Your House?
In your house, yes.
But
Todd Pettingale.
The first In Your House we ordered was Savio Vega, Steve Austin strap match.
yeah,
Beware a Dog.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
but these, man, I totally forgot what I was going to say.
Mediocre pay-per-views.
Yeah, but the thing about TLC is the past couple of years, it's actually been a pretty decent pay-per-view.
Right.
Last year, I think the main event was it Punk?
I don't know.
I think the Shield was involved.
I'll grab my Googles.
Yeah. It was the Shield versus Daniel Bryan, Kane, and Ryback.
Yeah, I think that was.
That was the debut of the Shield. I think.
Yeah.
That was the debut.
Yes.
No, didn't the Shield
Survivor
debut?
Series.
That was the
Survivor Series?
debut match.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I remember people were just throwing it out there. Dude, this is a 5-star match. And even me, I was like, holy crap, this is probably one of the best wrestling matches I've ever seen. And it was a great match. And then the Shield, they went on that fucking run where they just had great match after great match.
Well,
So-
let me kind of not rephrase, but let me just say it though. I mean, this kind of match is definitely a Big Four worthy.
Oh,
Card.
definitely.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
to do it on, and they obviously, if you saw Survivor Series, they just kind of threw it out there,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and then they actually built it up on Raw. So it didn't have to happen
Yeah.
right now. But I'm going to go with Bubba on this one and say it's just the buy rates, man.
Yeah.
And this has been kind of an interesting year in pay-per-views because how many pay-per-views did we watch, and how many of them were like the big ones, right?
Me personally, I think we've ordered every pay-per-view this
So
year.
far this year, we have ordered every
Yeah.
pay-per-view.
Like, we went and hung out with Chrispy over here for WrestleMania, I
Yeah.
remember. But outside of that, we pretty much ordered every pay-per-view at my house.
And I will say, like, for example, Money in the Bank was pretty good.
It was decent.
It was a good card for a mediocre pay-per-view.
It was a good card. It's just the finishes were terrible.
Yeah.
They were horrible.
Well,
Yeah.
again, that's
Yeah.
a future discussion on finishes, but
Yeah.
But going back to the title versus title aspect here, okay, I'm just going to throw out some questions, guys, and I want to get your feedback on.
All right.
So the first one, I guess, was, why are we doing this at the mediocre pay-per-view? Obviously, buy rates.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's my question: is it a match where you have? Okay, let me rephrase this because I want to make sure I say this correctly. Is now the time for that match?
Absolutely not.
Should it have been years
Mania.
ago?
It should have been years ago, but if they're going to do it now, it should have been Mania.
Yeah. Well,
because if you have title versus title, that's the biggest match you could possibly have.
Yeah.
And the biggest match you could possibly have should be on your Super Bowl. Should be on your World Series or Stanley Cup Finals.
Agreed.
Which is Mania.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, but like I said, like Chrispy repeated, it's all about buy rates.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is they kind of booked themselves into a hole with this,
Right.
because I think they all this year they've been wanted to unify the titles.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they could have did it at Survivor Series, but you know they were going into the Big Show Randy Orton feud, which honestly was kind of irrelevant.
I thought it had a lot of potential, man. I mean, that storyline was, first of all, why they ignored the whole ironclad contract thing is beyond me.
Right.
See what I did there?
Uh,
Nice. Why they ignored it, again, I don't know. Blame it on the writers, you know. But anyways, I thought it was fucking cool because they were doing this, like, trying to make it seem, like it was happening in real life. Even though we've been watching this long enough, we know, like, hey, everything's a shoot or everything's a work, not a
Right.
shoot. So, but I just thought it was a real, just sad thing, dude. I'm like, would it have been the greatest story of that year? No, absolutely not. But I could have seen it gone on for like maybe one or two more pay-per-views, eventually leading to Triple H and Big Show, because that's what you want to see.
right.
But back to the title unification. You know, you were saying that you know, you want it to happen at Mania, which it should fucking happen, but you couldn't do it at Survivor Series, could you?
Well, they could have done it as long as they would have ignored the Big Show feud, but you know they didn't do that.
Yeah.
You know, but and how they kind of, like you were saying, you know, they kind of just threw it in there. The ending with John Cena coming out, and you know, doing that.
The writers are just definitely like, I mean, I think it was an idea where the guys were like under the gun. Vince McMahon's like, give me an idea or you're fired. Or like, well, what if we do this?
It's kind of like they decided that day to let's just build this right now. And
Exactly. Let's just jump in with our clothes. Let's jump into the pool with our clothes on and see what happens.
Yeah.
Plus, it follows a trend that the WWE has been following the last few years. Like, they always try to do some storyline to make it seem like they're finishing out their year strong, so they have something that they can lead into the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Which is weird because the Royal Rumble is where it's the road
It's
to
where you start
begins.
WrestleMania.
Yeah. So that's where you want to start it off. You know, some kind of, you know, for example, we talk about, you know, Cody Rhodes and Goldust. I would not be surprised that their eventual one-on-one match will begin at the Royal Rumble. Partners in the Royal Rumble. One of them eliminates the other, builds the tension. That leads to WrestleMania.
Right, and they break up at, Elimination Chamber?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Tease the breakup at the Royal Rumble, maybe in the Rumble match, by having Goldust eliminate Cody, or and vice versa.
Right.
You know, and then finally they lose the tag titles at Elimination Chamber, and there you go.
Right.
So
here's how you do it. You plant this seed with one of the fucking, you know, maybe Stephanie McMahon talking to Goldust like, hey, this is your last run. You know, you can win the Rumble. Because Goldust, it makes sense for him to be the heel. You know?
Yeah.
It makes sense
maybe.
if you look at the current storyline.
Yeah.
As a wrestling fan, not so much. I'd rather kind of see Cody. Well, actually, no. I'd rather see Goldust because his time is coming to an end.
Right.
And, you know, Cody, I think right now the time is right for him to be a face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, I have to disagree with you on that one. I would rather see Cody Rhodes go into it as the heel. Because
is that what you think?
That's what I think, man.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right, dude.
Well, you're entitled to that opinion.
Yeah, and my opinion's right.
Bastard.
My opinion's always right, man. I'm never wrong. Ask anybody that I know. I'm never wrong. No, but I honestly think it would make a little bit more sense for Cody to go in as the heel because, yeah, this is Goldust's last run, and they want to make it feel like, you know, like the feel-good story. Goldust is finally getting his last chance, and then you could have his little brother, who's going to have plenty of fucking time in the next 15 to 20 years to be a face, to go out and try to destroy him. And you can have Goldust go out on a high note. Yeah. Even if he loses the match. Yeah. You know, he could be that underdog who's really trying to make it his last run and make something out of it.
Yeah.
But you're going to have the little brother there continually smash you down every single time.
Granted, but wouldn't the story also make sense that it's the heel, he beats him, and then they do the whole mutual respect, and he walks off into the sunset on a good note?
Yeah.
Dude,
They do that way too often with the WWE now.
Again, you're talking about current storylines. Yeah, that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
You know
More
what I
than
mean?
likely, that's what's
So-
going to happen. If they go that route.
And see, that's why I don't want to see Cody as the heel. It's because it seems too predictable for him to play the heel.
Yeah.
You know,
And he just had a heel run that wasn't too
for the last few years, his heel run has been pretty
mediocre
bad.
at
Yeah.
best. Yeah.
I mean, he was stuck in a tag team, and that was about it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Ultimately, I think they'll go with whatever the universe decides.
That's not true at all.
Yeah, I know.
Because if that was the case, then the fucking title versus title would be at
Daniel
Mania,
Bryan versus
and
Punk.
Yeah. So let's get back to the title versus title. So here's the big question, man. And I know the answer to this, and I know what you guys are going to say, but I got to throw it out there anyways. John Cena and Randy Orton, are those really the guys that should be doing this match?
Nope.
nope.
Not at all.
Hell no.
Hell no.
And-
Oh, God.
And again, nothing against them. I mean, I will say this. I'm not a big fan of either guy.
No.
As a fan. Personally, John Cena, the man loves the business.
He does.
Everything he does for the WWE and for the fans is on a fucking level that's no man can touch.
No.
I mean, he is the face of the company.
He really
In a
is.
sense. He does the fucking charity work. He does the radio interviews, all the shit. I mean, he's everywhere, which is probably the reason why I hate him, but
Yeah.
God bless him. He was the guy who should never have gotten a break, who got a break and made it work.
Yeah.
And look where he's at now.
Yeah.
Orton, on the other hand, is a guy who got a break when probably he shouldn't have, or the way I see it is that he's squandering and he's fucking just kind of stretching it out. He's not living to his full potential is what I'm saying.
No.
And the whole thing, his family name, right? The Ortons. Not a big legendary family in wrestling.
It doesn't mean shit.
His dad was second fiddle to fucking Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even then, if you're Roddy Piper's kid, okay, maybe. I'm not going to give you the right to get away with murder, but I kind of get where you're going at. But you're an Orton. You're third generation. There's a lot of third generation guys out there.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them have so much potential and aren't given that opportunity. I really thought Ted DiBiase Jr. could have been a top level guy if they had just given him little breaks here and there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because he wasn't a bad wrestler.
No.
I mean, the legacy stuff, which, Orton was a part of, that, but, him and Rhodes, I thought it was a great combination.
They carried that
Yeah.
stable.
Absolutely. So Orton is just, kind of, when you tell a guy so many times that you're going to be the man, you start drinking the Kool-Aid, you start believing it, and you just fucking get away with murder in a sense.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and it's just, I'm just going to go say it. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Title versus title is not a good enough reason for me to order TLC.
No. There's nothing, even the show in general, there's really nothing about it that makes me want to order it.
I might consider ordering it if it was like the Shield versus the Wyatt family for the main event.
Yeah.
That at
Definitely.
least would, I would think about it. You know what I mean?
Right. Or even for me, I know they have the 3-on-1 handicap match with Shield and Punk, but I'd much rather.
They're just really fucking drag. They're
they're
beating a dead horse with that.
Yeah,
idea.
they're really dragging. I mean, we went to Raw a few months back, and there was 4 or 5 matches, all 3-on-1 handicap matches.
Yeah.
It was like the Shield versus Dolph Ziggler, the Shield versus the Big Show, and that shit went on for 3 fucking hours.
Yeah.
And it got so boring by the end of it that we didn't even give a shit about the main event, which was probably a 3-on-1 handicap match. I don't even remember.
Yeah,
I was
I don't
halfway
even
asleep.
remember.
3 guys against 1 guy. That's all I remember.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would much rather have them do Punk versus Dean Ambrose, or Punk versus Seth Rollins, or you could do another tag team match with Punk and Bryan versus the Wyatts, which would make a lot more sense now.
Yeah.
But they're just like you said, they're beating a dead horse.
Absolutely, man.
With all these storylines. I mean, they've been beating the dead horse with Cena and Orton for fucking 7 years now.
Oh, man. How many chances to get it perfect, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I will say this, though. Now, again, whether you agree with me or disagree with me, I'm just going to...
I disagree with you.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
You
What
bastard.
are you going to do about it, man?
I'm going to call you a cunt right here in your room.
I'm going to call you a twat.
Goddamn quats.
Where's that fucking book that tells you what's better? Is cunt worse than twat?
I don't know, man, but I do have a book called Creative Cussing up here.
So do I, man.
So
Yeah. So
let's just flip through it for the next 20 minutes.
well, I'll tell you what, man.
Cunt sandwich. I think that was my favorite.
I think Dave won.
Cunt sandwich. Okay, we'll give you that. Here's the thing. I fucking lost my train of thought here, but here's my statement. I think there is only one thing you can do to make this ending less shitty. Which, by the way, actually, let's talk about that really quick. There's only going to be one champion. All right, unless you're like an 8-year-old wrestling fan and you believe that, that's okay because you're 8. You don't know any better. But do we really think it's going to be a fucking one champion take all thing?
Mm-mm.
Bullshit. What's going to happen is Orton's going to grab the fucking world title. Cena's going to grab the fucking WWE title. Vince McMahon's going to come out here with bags of money and say, "Kiss my ass. We're the only show going."
Yep.
You know, I mean, fuck you to the fans. That's what's going to happen. You know, the clean finish is like legendary.
Yeah.
They might as well do like a WWE DVD, the clean finish, the thing of the past.
Yeah.
Because it ain't fucking happening these
Well,
days.
yeah, John Cena lose clean at SummerSlam, so he's sure as hell not going to lose clean again at the end of the year.
Yeah, and he did it because he was hurt.
Yeah.
And they told him, like, you can't go out there and wrestle, dude. Like, you're fucked.
I can just see how this match is going to end. Like, they'll probably do it where, like, Orton's climbing the ladder, Cena's down and out underneath the ladder. Orton's going to reach up, grab both of them, and as he's coming down, one will slip out of his hand and land on Cena's lap, and he'll catch it.
I was going to say maybe fucking Damien Sandow going to run out from behind the table and fucking take the title.
That would be great.
So, that's how it's
It'd be something different, which, you know, we haven't had a lot of in a while.
Let me throw this out there. What we're saying is opinion. Obviously, you know, we could be wrong, and if we are wrong, don't fucking hit us up and say you guys are fucking wrong. We're fans. These are our opinions that we're thinking. But when you've been watching wrestling for like the last 15, 20 years like I have, you're pretty much like nothing shocks you. You kind of expect it. Repeating storylines, repeating finishes.
Right.
I mean, if I can somehow just find the blueprint, like, okay, they're 1975, they're doing that year out again, then I can predict the next finish. But
Right.
I haven't stumbled upon that formula yet, but that's what's going to happen. But here's my statement. There's only one finish for this match that'll, at the very least, make it a decent finish, which would be Cena turning heel.
Mm-hmm.
It makes perfect sense if you look at it. The Authority is the whole, what's best for business, we need a face of the company. That's John Cena.
Yeah.
And the fans have wanted John Cena to turn heel for what? Fucking years.
Well, at least the internet fans will be wanting him.
You know what I mean?
The only downside I see in that is the fact that if they turn Cena heel, they're going to turn Orton face.
I would just boo the shit out of him, man.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be the first, face that people boo the shit out of, you know?
Well, that's the thing, though. They're going to do, if Cena turns heel, it will be a double turn. The problem I see with that is that it'll probably potentially lead to John Cena and Randy Orton at WrestleMania.
Unless you fucking take out Orton, he's gone for the next couple of months. Bring him back in time to fucking open WrestleMania. That'd be fine with me.
Or just give him his flat out release.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't release. Are you talking about Cena or
I'm talking about Orton?
Yeah.
I wouldn't release Orton. I mean, my personal opinion is I think that Orton is like an upper mid-carder at best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's in his early 30s. At this point, with the opportunity he's been given, he should be at that main event level.
Right.
Mentally and physically.
Right.
Physically, he's there.
It's all the steroids he's taking.
Well, yeah.
Sure. Let's just try to find him, drug one of his water bottles, and make him get his third strike.
You mean, yeah.
Just so we don't have to see him again.
I was going to say undrugged, but yeah, okay. I see where you went with that. Classic. So, but it's just like, look, do whatever you got to do, but fucking, if you're listening and you're in some sort of position of power at WWE, we want Punk, we want Bryan, title versus title. That's your main event.
Yes.
Yeah.
We didn't get Hogan versus Flair at WrestleMania. We deserve this one. It's fucking 30 years of WrestleMania. God damn it. That's the match we all want.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Make this anniversary show special.
No shit.
And no stupid bullshit ending like WrestleMania 10 with Yoko and Brett.
Yeah.
Let's make this main event something to remember because...
Well, I thought the Brett Yoko bullshit finish was 9, but 10 was not as good.
Well,
Yeah, Not 9 was the one where Hogan came out and won the WWF.
Did I say
title.
9?
Yeah.
I meant to say 10.
You said 9.
You said 10, but you meant to say 9.
You meant to say 9.
Okay, whatever.
And then 10 was when
It was the double,
yeah.
Yoko and Lex Luger and Brett, and then Yoko.
Whatever.
At 10,
Hardcore wrestling fan here.
at 10, they had Lex and Yoko. Yoko won. Was it by disqualification?
Mr. Perfect disqualified.
Disqualified Lex.
Okay.
And then the main event was Brett and Yoko.
And didn't Yoko fall off the second turnbuckle to lose the match? That's what I fucking mean.
Yeah.
You fucking assholes.
Yeah.
Well, the guy.
Making me feel like an incompetent moron over here.
Well, that's your opinion, and your opinion's wrong. But
No, it's not. Always right.
Yeah, I know Brett should have won via sharpshooter.
You could have.
So
Or move number 1 on Chris Jericho's list of 1,004 holds. Armbar.
did Brett ever do an armbar?
I don't fucking know. He could always adapt and put new moves in his repertoire.
Not really. He did the same stuff for his entire
Bret
career.
Hart's matches. I mean,
cares?
I enjoyed.
He added the figure 4 to the turnbuckle or to the fucking ring post in the
I
late
mean-
night.
I mean,
90s. Shut the fuck up, Dave.
But before that, it was backbreaker,
Elbow off the second
elbow
rope.
drop off the second
Oh
row.
no, he did the.
He did the leg drop, right?
No, he did the was it side Russian leg sweep.
Yeah, there you go. Side Russian leg sweep, then the elbow.
Look, I enjoy a lot of Bret Hart's matches. Like as the regular fan does, but it's pretty textbook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like Hogan boot, big boot, leg
3
drop,
punches.
pin, back in the shower with champagne.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing though. If you even watch Daniel Bryan, I mean, I love Daniel Bryan, but I mean, he's even kind of fallen into that 5 moves of doom
Well, that's
type thing.
it's the WWE
Yeah.
formula as far as
Which
your moves list goes.
Which there's nothing wrong with that because I've been at indie shows where all they do is finishing moves throughout the entire match and they kick out of every one. It's the Davey Richards 101
Look,
match.
I guess all I'm saying is it wouldn't kill them to have a world title fight or WWE title fight where the guy wins with a backslide. That'd be fucking awesome.
Oh, that'd be great.
That'd be fucking great.
That'd be amazing.
Guys listening, work at WWE, that's your finish for WrestleMania. They'll never see it coming.
Backslide,
Backslide, man.
Backslide or schoolboy.
Schoolboys have happened before.
It's been done.
Yeah. Backslide.
Or you could do the classic heel thing where the guy gets him in a schoolboy and then puts his feet on the ropes.
Figure out how to do a schoolboy backslide, then we're talking.
There we go.
So
I'll take it. Crucifix pen.
there it is.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay, so I think we're about there, gentlemen. About ready to wrap it up. So really quick, the main event tonight, the discussion title versus title. Is the time to do it now? The answer was no. It should have been fucking years ago. It should have been because the world title hasn't meant shit in a fucking long time.
No.
And I realized that when Punk won it and he didn't get the push.
Right.
The only reason the belt's there is to boost Vince McMahon's ego.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, are Randy Orton and John Cena the guys to do it? Absolutely not.
Nope.
Is the event TLC where you should do it? Absolutely not.
Nope.
So there's a big old steaming pile of no there to Vince and all the guys who write and whatnot. And,
Suck it, Vince. You
got to
suck.
give Michael Hayes a bottle back because sober writing has not been his strong point.
Seriously.
You know what I mean? That just,
I got a bottle of Jameson behind me right now that I'd be more than willing to donate to Michael Hayes.
That's right. Michael P.S. Hayes, man. We're fans of your work when you're inebriated as fuck.
Take us back to Bad Street, Michael P.S.
That's right, man.
All the
we
way.
should put that on the show.
We should put that
We
on
should
the show.
fucking put that on the show.
That's our next intro.
Yeah.
Bad Street.
Bad Street, man.
And we'll even sing along to it.
What I want you guys to do right now, you can follow me on Twitter at Bubs71 BUBZ71.
Oh, you dropped something.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, I picked it up though. I got it.
Yeah, there it is.
I want hashtag Bad Street No, hashtag Bad Street Yes. You guys vote on it, and we'll put it on the show through your votes. That's what we'll do.
Hopefully, we have an odd amount of fans to vote, so we can have an answer.
Yes,
Maybe hopefully more than 3 or about 3.
maybe
At least
4,
3.
5
No.
tops,
No, because if we had 4, it could potentially be a tie.
Yeah.
and then we'll
So
just flip a coin.
So we either need 3.
Hey,
or
this
5.
isn't WrestleMania 10, man. We're not going to flip a coin to figure out who main events what.
And don't try to fuck with us and do Bad Street maybe. Don't do that.
Yeah, just please now.
Or I'll send you a dick pic,
There it is, the dick pic.
motherfucker.
So, but right before we come to a close here on our first episode, I want to thank you for listening. We have a website. And I mean a real website. I mean like a fucking facebook.com/. We have a legitimate URL. And Dave, you'd be so kind to let the fans know how they can find us online.
Okay, it's www.beyondkayfabe.com. Right now, the website is under construction. We have pages, but there's nothing on them.
But we have a website.
Yeah. We will be uploading this episode, hopefully, to the website.
Which is how you're listening to it. So if you are listening to it, mission accomplished.
Well, future
episodes.
Future episodes.
And hopefully we're going to have some merch as well.
Some merch. I mean, we're going to have links that links us all to our Facebooks and the Twitter machine and those wonderful social media websites.
Uh-huh.
So
Also, don't forget to like us on Facebook.
yeah, like us on Facebook.
Yeah.
Beyond Kayfabe Podcast.
All the kids are doing it these days.
Just share. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your kids.
And if you're a hot young piece of ass with some beautiful tits, don't be afraid to show us your pictures.
Yeah.
And if you want to support our podcast, because this is a listener-supported podcast, you can go to my Redbubble page, which has all my wrestling T-shirt art.
Absolutely.
We have actually a couple Beyond Kayfabe T-shirts on there already.
Yes, we do.
Right now they're a little bit expensive. They're in about the $20-something range.
But it is the holiday seasons, Dave. So tell us about the great deals that you have there on your Redbubble.
If you go to Redbubble and use our name,
that's right, Beyond Kayfabe,
you can get 2 T-shirts for the price of 2.
Hey now,
wow,
2 T-shirts for the price of 2.
I'm logging on right now.
And maybe if you get 3 shirts, you can get it for the price of 3.
Oh my God, can we afford that?
Oh man,
that's actually
good. You can't beat that deal.
That's a great bargain, man.
Yeah.
That's better than any Black Friday deal that I got this week.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. On Dave's Redbubble, it's Black Friday all year. It's just Black Year all year round. Man.
Yeah, you can find my page. I think it's under False Finish 66. And if you can't find it, go to BeyondKayfabe. .com and I'll put the link on there. Or go to falsefinish.org. I have a link to it there too.
Yeah, so there it is. Visit our website. It's beyondkayfabe.com. Visit us on Facebook where you can like us, like Dave's Redbubble. Yeah. Or fuck off. Seriously, fuck off forever.
Yeah, suck a dick.
Follow us.
A whole bag of dicks.
A whole bag of dicks.
And follow us each on Twitter, because I'm at Deebow.
Yep. I'm at Chrispy Deluxe.
At Bub71.
Yep. Clearly, me and Dave are the creative ones here. Nah, you threw the 71 in there.
I did, motherfucker.
So there's 70 B-dubs out there?
Yeah. It's just my number.
Oh.
Yeah. And I wanted to own Deebow, so that's why I went with it. Deebow. Deebow.
That's right. You also, you've probably been wondering the whole show what we look like, our pictures up there, and
yeah, we are 3 of the sexiest wrestling fans you will ever lay your eyes on.
That's right.
I'm hands down the sexiest out of the 3, though.
Beefcake calendar coming soon.
That's right. We rock the front butts in this family.
I am not a member of this family, so.
Well,
you are now.
You are now.
Yeah, I got the back ass.
You've ate pizza in Bubba's room. You're part of the family.
That's right, man. Baptized in beer and pizza.
Yeah. Just remember, you're the crack, Dave's the belly, I'm the beard.
And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to Beyond Kayfabe. We'll catch you next time.
See you later, guys.
See ya.